Hello, Cougars. This is your first video, and this is going to be your topic worksheet video. And hopefully, your teacher told you that explained science fair to you and how it works, and told you there will be 4 separate grades for science fair. The first one is going to be your topic worksheet, which is what we're going to talk about today. The second one will be your research plan. The third will be your conclusion. And the fourth one will be your presentation board and or video, depending on whether we are virtual or in person. So this is the first of 4 videos that you'll have posted. And I'm going to go through each step, each process that you need to do. I want to point out that you can pause this video at any time. If you're at home and you're working on this, you can pause it and work on the worksheet along with the video so that it's just like I'm right next to you in your house helping you out. So before we get into this worksheet and how to do it, I want to point something out to you. I want you to think about your topic carefully, because I want to give you the best possible chance to win. If you're going to spend your time doing something, I want it to be worthwhile, and I want you to have a shot at winning. So here's how to improve those chances. There are projects such as which laundry detergent makes clothes the whitest? Which baseball bat hits a ball further? Or my personal favorite, which glue makes the best glitter slime? And the problem with those type of projects is they're kind of elementary school projects, but besides that, nobody cares. Nobody in the real world cares about any of that stuff. It's not relevant to real world issues. So, you guys are all very, very smart, and I'm expecting you to do a project that is on par with your level of education, and those just really don't cut it. So I want you to think about your project in terms of, why does this matter to the larger population? Why should anybody care about my project? What makes it important? The other part to that is this. When you go into these science fairs and you see the projects that are there are hundreds of basic everyday physics and chemistry projects. Like the laundry detergent products, or the baseball bat physics type of projects. And so let's say that a judge is going in to look at these projects, and there's 200 of those type of projects, and he can only pick 10, right? The slime projects, the laundry detergent, those are considered chemistry. And so there's hundreds of those, right? And let's say that this judge can only choose 10 winners. That means that you've only got 10 chances out of 200 people going, in your category. And then let's say that when the judge walks down to the coding or robotics or computer software or environmental energy or engineering, those type of projects there's much fewer of them. So let's say there's 50 of those, and the judge can choose 10 winners. You have a much better chance of winning with one of those projects than you do with one of the more simple projects. So, and because they matter to the real world, like they're relevant in the big picture, right? And so many fewer kids choose to do those because they're more challenging. They're more difficult. They take more brain power. They usually take more effort. But there's a reward to that because people don't do them as much, right? So if you choose to do one of those, if you're one of those brave kids that, steps outside your comfort zone and picks one of those, you have a much better chance of winning not only the school fair, but the district fair as well. Those are the projects that win. Those are the projects that the judges choose because they matter to the real world. So I don't want you to be scared of doing, one of those. Coding, robotics, engineering, one of those type of projects. Don't be scared because it's better to try one of those and maybe not do so great than to do this, beautiful, completely perfectly presented, basic chemistry project. I'd rather have you, challenge yourself and maybe not do it as perfect, but you got a much greater shot with one of those. So now that I've gone through that, first thing on this page is basic categories, right? So if you choose to do animals, humans, or anything involving chemicals that you cannot buy at the grocery store, you need to come see me for approval because there's a couple little extra things that we have to do. Don't worry about it. I will help you every step of the way, but you need to come talk to me because I need to figure out exactly what you're doing. And just know that if you are doing any research that involves animals or humans, you have to have at least 50 participants, right? 50 trials. Please don't be overwhelmed by that number. It's a lot easier than it sounds, right? You're like, 50 people. Where am I going to get 50 people? There's like 1,000 kids at our school. You'd have no problem getting 50 people. I will help you with that. So don't be worried about doing that. But you do need to come see me because we need to take some extra planning steps. Okay. So pick your category. And then in this first box, what is a problem that you'd like to, What is a problem that you'd like to solve using the scientific method? This is not a research project. This is engineering or an experiment. So you have to be able to use the scientific method. What's a problem that you notice in your everyday life that you would like to solve that you could solve with a testable experiment? And then the next page, it asks you to choose 3 topics. And so on the first line, you're just going to write the title of your topic or, the main idea. The next couple lines, I just want you to write me a couple sentences, explaining what you're doing. What's the project all about? And then at the bottom, it asks for your parent's signature, and they can do this on the computer. You don't have to print this out. They can sign it on the computer, but you're going to talk to your parent and you're going to give them your 3 topics. And you and your parent or the person that you live with, that person that loves you and takes care of you, you're going to decide together on what project you're going to do. And the reason for that is because more than likely you're going to be doing this project at their house. And I want to make sure that they're okay with whatever you're doing. For example, if you're building something and that requires you to use some sort of saw, I want to make sure that your parents are okay with you using that. So once you guys fill this out, you're going to email this to your teacher, and your teacher is either going to respond with approved, denied, choose the next topic, or you need to see Miss Kennedy. The reason why you have to have 3 topics is because if the topic you choose gets denied, I want you to have a backup plan. I don't want you to have to start from scratch again. Okay. I put this website link here, Science Buddies, and I want to point out that you don't have to use this website. If you have your own idea, that's fabulous. But the website is here just to kind of help you out. So if you click on this website, it's going to bring you to Science Buddies. And the homepage is going to look like this. And a little pop-up might come up with like a little questionnaire. You can just X out of that. You don't have to do that at all. And then you're going to click on Science Projects, and you're going to go to by area of science. And you're going to see some categories here. And start looking around, look at things that interest you. You know, if you're going to spend your time doing this, it should be something that you have fun doing, that you are interested in. So I'm going to click on agricultural technology, just because I like that. Some topics have pages and pages and pages of project ideas. There are dozens and dozens of projects on here. And so you're going to notice the first thing, it's going to give you a title. And then right down here, it's going to give you advanced, intermediate, or beginner. And these labels they're not completely academic based. Like, they're not determined by level of academics. They're more based on the time that it's going to take to do this project and the effort that you're going to have to put into it. So that's something to keep in mind. The first one that I'm going to click on, is, let's see. Okay. Build a circuit to detect ripe produce. So once you click on it, there's a lot of information here. First thing that I want you to look at is the materials. What materials are you going to need for this project? Now, there are a lot of projects that have materials that you already have in your house. There are projects that have, some materials, some things that you've never heard of. Come see me about those. I have a lot of stuff that I can loan you, that I can, loan out to you. Just send me an email, give me a list of what you need. I'll tell you what I can get and what I cannot get. But if we have it, or if I can get it, I'm happy to loan it to you. Just looking at these materials right now, they kind of look overwhelming, right? But these are, maybe your dad or your uncle or grandpa or a neighbor is an electrician. And if that's the case, an electrician would have all of these materials probably laying around, in their work truck. But I don't know any electricians, so I would look at this and be like, I don't think I can do this. And I would probably move on to another project. But before I do that, I want to point something out to you. There's some of these project ideas will have like these little links that go to it. And if you click on this link, it's going to bring you to another website where you can order these materials. Sometimes they'll have kits where you can order the kit. You do not have to order the materials from these links. A lot of them are much, much cheaper, on Amazon or Walmart. You don't have to order from here. So I can't get any of these materials. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to find a different project. So scroll down. Okay, let's try this one. So looking here, beginner, it's going to take me a month or more. Pay attention to the time that it's going to take you. I think the last project said like 6 to 10 days. Pay attention to that because you need to make sure that you have enough time, right? But I'm going to click on the materials. And looking here, these are all materials that you probably already have at home. You don't have to go buy a single thing. Maybe I don't have a ruler, so I'm going to email my teacher and ask her if I can borrow a ruler. I don't have large sweet potatoes. My mom says she's not buying sweet potatoes because we don't eat sweet potatoes. No problem. Email Miss Kennedy. We'll see what we can do. Next thing that I want you to look at, once you determine you can do these materials, I want you to click on the procedure. Look at what you have to do in order to do this project and make sure that it's something that you actually can do. The reason why is I had a girl who did a project where she had to monitor something every 2 hours for like 7 days in a row. She's in school. She can't do that. So make sure that the procedure is something that you actually can do. Also keep in mind the time frame. I'm going to go back here and just click on any other project just so you can see right here. The time frame here says 6 to 10 days. I can totally do that. Let me check out the materials. Can I get those? Let me check out the procedure. Okay. This is how I want you to look at your project. Last thing that I wanted to point out is there's this little thing that says cost, and it gives you a price here. There have been kids in the past who've thought that price is something they have to pay in order to do this project. That's not the case. You don't have to pay anything to use this website. You don't have to pay anything to use the project. That cost is there because it's a general estimate of how much these materials would cost if you had nothing in your house. So if you don't have these materials in your house, there's a general idea of how much it's going to cost. I think that covers it for the topic. Please don't be afraid to do something that you've never done before. Those usually turn out to be the best projects. If you have any questions about materials or, a specific project, please email me. I'm happy to answer you back. There will also be after school help, either in person or virtually, depending on where we are at that point. But there will be after school help, so you are not going to be doing this, you're not going to be thrown out on an island, figure it out yourself. So if you have any questions, send me an email. I'm happy to help. Otherwise, happy searching, and I will see you for the next video, which will cover the research plan. Oh, last point real quick. Once you send this topic sheet to your teacher, you should get an approval. Do not start this project until you have done your research plan. Don't start the project. We have to do the research plan first, okay? So until the next video, I will see you later.